my student to be like you. Like, you're just so like confident, out in the world, doing your thing. And so that's what we did. We invited Drew to come meet my student, Selene, and she demonstrated some of her strategies. You gave her some life advice. They both have a wicked sense of humor. So they developed this lovely relationship. And then they became pen pals. So, whoops, sorry, I didn't practice this part. This is an excerpt of their exchange, and so I would document it and share it with the whole team so that everyone knew the different strategies that our student was practicing, but also was helping staff learn about the different practices. So initially when they met, Drew relayed a message to me that I sent to Selene, saying it was lovely to meet her and I'm excited to talk with her more. And then Selene was practicing a custom grid on her Accent 1400 at the time. She uses a single switch at her feet to hold and scan and release to select. So you can imagine this is really laborious. And so we were just trying to kind of create a pretty simple grid at that time to get buy-in on directly selecting her choice of phrases. And so she would compose these text messages, and she chose, "I like you, I love you, silly funny," which Drew totally is. Very fitting. And then, so I take it back, at that time, that was the pod flip book. We just had all these little, that was a very personal type of pod. It was just an auditory scanning phrase book, kind of, that was pragmatically organized. So I just know that by meeting Drew and being connected, people in my school setting were so much more inspired to try hard things. And it's been really meaningful to me. And I'm also really lucky to call her a friend. So, thank you.
Same back here.
And so it was when Drew came to visit Selene on her birthday. I meant to say, I had applied for a foundation grant and I didn't get it. I was so inspired by Heidi's work, and I even had like the excellent proposal all written out, and it just wasn't the priority of the foundation that year. And that's okay, because we still found a way to try art making. And as Heidi mentioned at the beginning, it's important to practice what you're going to do before you go in with your students. So Drew came out to visit, and I said, okay, we're going to the school later, but I've never used this tool, let's try it out. And that happened to be the first day that Drew painted. And that's what the video was a few slides back. So these are some photos from that visit and that wonderful day. And now I'm going to hand it over to Drew, who's going to tell you more about that experience. While she's getting that set up, I'll just say that this excerpt is one from like pages and pages of exchanges. And they were sending pictures of their art back and forth.
Very young age, I had a feeling I would enjoy art. However, I didn't know how to access it. Then, when Amy showed me acrylic pour art, it clicked, and I was hooked. After developing my style, I had an opportunity to display and sell my art at a local coffee shop. Thanks, Heidi. This not only helped me show off my work, but opened up a revenue stream for me. Now, given that I didn't exactly make bank on this, but it gave me a much needed confidence boost from making my own money. From this newfound confidence, writing was a natural extension, and now I publish my essays on Substack. It feels like society places an enormous amount of value on how much economic revenue can generate. As a person with a severe disability, I frankly feel like I do the opposite of that, i.e., I feel like I am the human version of a tube that just sucks incredible amounts of cash into some endless void of nothingness. I am fortunate enough to have the privilege of not having to be concerned about finances. However, this experience was my first introduction to earning my own money, which was incredibly empowering. Picture the doors programs like this could open for people who are much less lucky than me. Further, I already feel like I live a life of exhibition, but this time I got to pick what I put on display. If this seemingly small thing was empowering to me, then imagine what it could do for your students.